At the beginning of this year, I started this really cool adventure of seeing where the journey of being a full time content creator could take me. As the year closes out, this journey, this chapter closes out as well. And I thought I'd share with you some insights that I've gained over this past year. I want to break this down into a few specific areas. So, the first one or two is what I thought my top videos were and what I thought my worst videos were from the past year, where my channel currently sits, the lessons that I've learned from this past year, and the biggest mistake or mistakes that I've made over the past year. And then finally, what's next? So let me start with what I thought my three top videos were from this past year. And I don't think the number one video would be one that anybody looking at my other videos would select. So I'm kind of excited about that one. So my number three video is upgrading your setup with 3D printed SSD drive bays. This was a fun video. It was a hard video because there were a lot of details that went into it. I had to build an entire desk assembly in order to build the drive bays. And to be honest, it was kind of a failure as far as building the bays, but in the next iteration of those drive bays, it really turned out well. But this was one of my best performing videos throughout the year. And so that's why it's number three. And I'll comment or say that in the description, I will have links to all the videos that I'm talking about. Some of these videos are no longer on my site. They're essentially unlisted, so I provided direct links to them if you want to check them out. The number two video was originally titled 30 Years in IT, Why I Left and What to Know. So this is my best performing video long form video over the past year. It was also one of my first videos that I released at the beginning of the year, which kicked off this whole journey of being a full-time content creator. This is a video that I worked really hard with a coach that I had at the time and ensuring that, I was getting the opening nailed and all these type of things and providing, really cool content. Yeah, it was an awesome video to work on. It was also another challenging video because one, I had to dig down deep inside to share some really hard things and unpack some of, I guess you could say, challenges throughout my life. Yeah, that was an interesting video. Now, the one that I don't think anybody else would pick was a video that I just released recently. That one was titled, I Quit My Job at 56 to Be a Creator and My Nuts. The reason I picked this as my number one video is one, it's the first time that I did a video that did well, that I didn't have anybody providing feedback or insight in. This was one that I just did completely on my own. The research and all that kind of stuff that went into it. So I feel like that is the first video on this journey of being a full-time content creator where I took everything that I've learned from what everybody's been telling me and put it into a video that was completely mine. And so that's why that's my number one video. Now, as far as my bottom three videos go, the first bottom one, third to the last, I guess you could say, is identifying revenue streams as a full-time creator. So this video didn't do well. Basically, it was me trying to create content on a path that I wasn't super excited about and something I really didn't have a clear, I guess, direction on where I was going. I was just looking for content ideas to throw out there to share what my experience was being a full-time content creator. And that video did not do well, nor did the next one. How to create your first passive revenue stream as a new content creator. That one did just I think 2 views better than the other video. And again, it was just me trying to come up with some idea for a video that was kind of in the state that I was in, trying to figure out passive revenue streams and all that type of stuff for my channel as being a, new full-time content creator. And again, that video got hardly any views. So that was why it's kind of listed in this. Now, the last one, and the reason I chose it and the reason why others might not have chose this video is really the fact that this kind of screwed up everything for me. So I created a short called New Hobby Now That I'm a Full-Time Creator. So I created this short about me doing 3D printing, and that video did really well compared to all the other videos that I had released other than that first one. And it set me off on this spiral of focusing on creating content around 3D printing. I'll get into more about that in a moment. So let me talk about my biggest lessons that I've learned for the past year. I really needed this year of being a full-time content creator to kind of figure out me and the journey that I was on and the content that I want to create and share. I mean, that has been probably an underscoring of this entire year of going in one direction, then pivoting, going in the direction for a short bit, then pivoting again. So this has been a year of pivots essentially. And even though I've made content for a long time, going full time was kind of a different animal in that perspective, because I still, over that period of time, hadn't figured out who I was as a content creator or the type of content that I wanted to create. And it just messed with me through the entire year. I mean, when you get so focused on trying to figure out who you are, what your niche is, you kind of get stuck in just creating content. So while I haven't discovered super awesome answers to all these things, the big thing that I did discover on this is that I need to stop focusing on necessarily who I am as a creator and just creating content that I enjoy creating. So the biggest mistake that I made this year or this past year was changing or pivoting to 3D printing. And that was that whole comment about that one video is I saw a carrot and I ran after that carrot really hard. And I wasted valuable time through the year focusing on creating content, which is not something that was in the direction that I really wanted my channel to go in. I just chased that carrot because it was getting me views, but it wasn't making me happy, I guess you could say, with the content that I was creating. So that was a big mistake. All right, so let me talk about where my channel sits at today. As of the filming of this video, it is sitting at 917 subscribers. My goal at the beginning of the year, was to be fully monetized by the end of the first quarter. Obviously, that didn't happen. I made some kind of adjustments throughout the year and just changed my goal to being, I just want to get to 1,000 subs. Don't care about watch time or anything like that, just wanting to get to 1,000 subs. Well, I haven't hit it, and that's perfectly fine because this year did have the wins, right? When I started out the year, I had less than 500 subs. I've more than doubled that as I've gotten towards the end of the year, and that's solid progress, because if you consider that for the 8 or 9 or 10 years prior, I'd only gotten to less than 500 subscribers. And then in a year, I've increased that almost double. That is a pretty cool thing. And that shows that going full time did allow me to put that focus in and build that subscriber count. Now, as far as the other thing that's important as a full-time creator, which is earning revenue, income, those type of things. Yeah. I think all total, I maybe made $5 this year, actually less than $5. And I made that off of affiliate links for some of my earlier videos. That is definitely not a win, but it's a work in progress, and that's perfectly fine. So that takes me to the last part of this video, which is what's next. So the big thing that I wanted to figure out with this is the lifestyle that's best suited for me. Yeah, it'd be cool to make money. Yeah, it'd be cool to be monetized and all that type of stuff. But a big part of it was quitting my job as a full-time software developer, manager, all that type of stuff, and going to being a full-time content creator. Was that a better lifestyle for me? And hands down, absolutely. This was the best decision that I ever made. And I've made videos in the past about the fact this was the best decision that I've made for me. So what does that mean going forward? Well, the cool thing is, as I'm closing out this chapter of giving it a year, and now I'm focusing on this just being my new lifestyle. I no longer seeing where the journey is going to take me. I'm just living the adventure. So that's cool. That means as we roll into next year, I've got new video ideas, some more ideas for the channel. I'm super stoked about where things are going. And I've given that whole year of like not really knowing the direction of the channel and pivoting and all that kind of craziness into now having more of a focus, knowing where I want to take the channel. So that allows me to be in a really cool position as I step into the new year and start a new chapter for myself and for this channel, just being in the perfect position for that to head wherever it takes me. All right, so if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear about them. I don't mention this much, but if you enjoy the content and you want to see where this channel goes in the future, hit that subscribe button and that little bell so that you can get notified of future videos. And yeah, I just look forward to sharing where I'm going and the cool things that are going on.